Just over 15 months ago, NASA's Perseverance rover landed on Mars in Jezero Crater, a 45-kilometer wide crater that scientists believe was once filled with water. In April of this year, it made its way to the base of what billions of years ago was a river delta rich in clays deposited by the moving water. On Earth, river sediment is usually teeming with life. Could the same once have been true on Mars? Perseverance is designed to try to answer that question. On May the 28th, it began its search for ancient Martian life by boring a 5-centimeter wide patch into a rock at the base of the delta. Images of the freshly ground spot show small grains of sediment, which scientists are hoping will contain chemical or other traces of life. The rover is equipped to drill and collect core samples of rock, which will then be stored in tubes. Perseverance carries 43 of these tubes, each a little thicker than a pencil. The tubes will be left on the surface for future missions currently being planned by NASA and the European Space Agency to retrieve and bring back to Earth. Perseverance will spend the next few months exploring the Jezero Delta while mission scientists decide where they want to drill and extract rock samples. The plan is to send Perseverance up the front of the delta, which rises 40 meters above the crater floor, and then back down again, assessing where and how to take samples. On the way up, it will scout the rocks and abrade more patches to see a little way beneath the surface. On the way down, it will drill and collect samples from the most promising locations. Mission scientists are already considering where to set down the first set of samples for a future spacecraft to retrieve. Once the rover makes its way back down, it may deposit some of its tubes in a large flat region at the base of the delta. NASA plans to organize a gathering of planetary scientists in September to assess whether the samples collected by Perseverance up to that point have enough scientific value to warrant the time and expense involved in bringing the tubes back to Earth. NASA is keen for the broader scientific community to evaluate whether the mission has assembled the highest value cache that the site has to offer. Plans to retrieve these samples and fly them back for lab analysis have been impacted by the situation in Ukraine. With Russia no longer involved in the joint project, NASA and the European Space Agency are redrawing the Mars sample return plans. 2 landers will be involved, carrying a rover to retrieve the samples and a rocket to lift them into Mars orbit. A separate spacecraft will then dock with the orbiting samples and fly them back to Earth. The first launches were supposed to take place in 2026, but these will now be delayed beyond 2030. Although researchers are eager to get their hands on fresh pieces of the red planet in the hunt for extraterrestrial life, there's really no rush. The sample tubes that Perseverance will leave on the surface are designed to last for decades under Martian conditions.